Hi guys, this is my 30th video, and in this video I want to talk about the trickery. First, before I go on, I want to thank everybody who's been, you know, leaving comments and watching my videos. I hope my videos have been insightful, relatable, and I hope that everybody gets something out of it. My goal in making this video is not only to speak up as much as I can. I try to maintain my identity, and that's because I'm currently employed, and I want to make sure that this is not used against me, even though I know that they are aware that I'm making those kind of videos. Um, with that being said, I recommend everybody to make video or make some kind of testimonies. For me, it's been a way to express myself and speak up and to even remind myself when I get lost in my targeting, which is meant to break you and meant to make you feel like you're something that you're not. And this is done purposely. So in the last video, I was talking about how they're trying to portray me as something I was not by, and this is when I say they is a mixture of the V2K and the neural manipulation that's going on. There's been a lot of intrusive thoughts, perception manipulations, stimulations of all kind of sorts. Some degrading one, which is sexual stimulation on the most inappropriate time, or just in a way to make you feel um, like make you feel not hopeless, but it feels like you don't have control of your own body. So in the last video, in video 29, I mentioned how they were trying to justify or try to portray me as something I was not, and try to say that this is proof. It's all we're not doing anything to you. This is all natural. And in the last video, I was specific to how I was going through a girl's one of somebody I had some kind of relationship with at the time, and there was she had a picture of her and her sister, and her sister, who at the time was turning 18, and the last time I saw her she was like a little girl. And so I checked her profile, and then and I mean, you can see the in the prior video I talked about it and how they were trying to say, you see, you check this profile and this girl was turning 18. And so you must like you must like younger girls or something of that nature, this kind of narrative. And it's obvious that they're really trying to pick things, and it's obvious they're trying to remove anything that doesn't align with that narrative, which is quite a lot. But today, and I wanna, I know it sounds very minuscule and non-important, but when you're targeting individual, anything can be blown out of proportion in a way that makes you so frustrated. And in this case, and this happened just today, after a day of just a lot of intrusive thoughts, a lot of my manipulation being, sorry, a lot of my perception being manipulated, a lot of degrading stimulations, which is nonstop with me. It's just really breaking me down into making me think like I'm something that I'm not. And I know that they know it's not true, but I think the frustration they get out of me is what they want. Everybody around, all the perps that are making the sound campaign, that scream and all, they all know. And sometimes I'm not responsive at this at the time. I'm responsive because it is frustrating, because it's like they their goal is to really make me look like that. And today was something, you know today was interesting because you know it's the weekend. I'm home, and I'm checking my Instagram profile. And as you know, on Instagram, you can have stories where you can see, you know, you can see other people's stories. And so I go through, the people I follow stories. I go into it, and there's somebody I follow, and she's like wishing her sister happy birthday, um and and I just keep going. But the way my targeting has been going in regard of the way they try to break me, beside the intrusive thought, beside the perception manipulation, is also trying to make me believe that they really do believe that this person is true. I know they know it's not true. I know they know it's something it's fraudulent, and they're trying to frame me into. But the V2K and the way they just manipulate my thoughts is I'm constantly tormented, even if I see something in that nature, something innocent, something, my perception is completely manipulated. Sometimes they stimulate other things that is very degrading. It does feel very natural, but it's like I have no control over it. Seems like they can play with that. So what I do is whatever I see, sometimes I just check. I want to make sure that I'm not being tormented for nothing. Meaning that sometimes they make me doubt myself. And in this case, I was like, okay, that's obviously they're gonna try to torment me about seeing this image. Let me see what let me make sure that if I'm gonna be tormented about it, let me make sure that it's it's part of their persona they're trying to put in me. So okay, I feel the whole V2K, the uncomfortableness, the uneasiness in my mind, just like the back and forth, that dialogue that people with V2K know what I'm talking about, that makes you frustrated. And so I go ahead. I say, okay, let me check check the profile of the sister, because I look at it, it's like she looks young, but I don't, let me see. I check the profile to the point where, it was, I checked the profile, making, because I wanted to double check to make sure that, I'm not gonna be, I'm not gonna be tormented over somebody that doesn't fit the alignment they want me. If they're gonna torment me about it, let me just see what is the torment gonna be about, because they do that sometimes. Sometimes I can look at something, and in my mind it becomes a whole game. Um, and so I check the profile, and I find, okay, the reason why I was being tormented is because this girl was turning 17. Mind you, the sole reason I go on this profile is because my V2K is is making me frustrated and trying to push me into having those like back and forth dialogue. It's like, that torments you, that to the point where it frustrates you. If anything, just pure frustration, because it's not. If I wasn't a target individual, I would have passed that. I wouldn't have even looked at it, but the back and forth torment that you have from V2K will make you go and look at it just to make sure that, okay, was why am I being tormented for? And now what you do is like you spend this time trying to figure out, okay, why am I being tormented for that? A person that you don't care, you don't even, you wouldn't even, you just see another story, you move on to the next story. Like now you into like somebody else's profile, trying to figure out why am I being tormented for this, me being able to see somebody wishing this person a happy birthday. to the point where you end up going to that person's profile to see who that person is, find out this is just a young girl's turning 17, and in your mind, like all along, it was just like there was this back and forth, and now they're trying to that was a case where they're trying to get reaction out of me, get me frustrated because that's the kind of persona they're trying to paint me as, and that kind of trickery is is nonstop. I expect it on a daily basis. I expect that tomorrow I'll probably go somewhere, I'll see something, it'll start tormenting me. It'll start to the point where I'll spend time trying to figure out why I'm being tormented, where I go into like a rabbit hole of like figuring out. And so in this video, I just wanted to talk about the trickery. For me, it's just trying to frustrate me. And not only frustrate me for what the V2K is pushing me to do, but frustrating myself, being frustrated about myself, like being self-frustrated about me wasting my time on that. You know, you wanna, it's hard to just ignore. And I keep saying, I wish I had the ability of just ignoring those like frustrating moments, those tormenting moments where you can, okay, that's what's going on in my, that's the way they're trying to make me, just whatever they're saying, just ignore it. Sometimes you're like, you know what, let me see, like, if I can just move on all the time, be able to move on from whatever tormenting that the V2K does, if I could just be like, you know what, I'm just gonna let go. I know they're trying to paint me as something I'm not. I know, like, I should let's not even waste my time. I'm not gonna waste my time. I'm just gonna move on. The perps are gonna be the perps. The V2K is gonna try to break me. If I had that, it'll be easy for me to just move on. But what's happening is now everything, I'm doubtful of things sometimes. And if I'm not doubtful, I'd rather know than not. I'm the kind of person that I'd rather know. And if I just moved on, they will still be tormenting me, but they will still try to, I'll have the doubts like, was it even something worth being tormented on? So I'd rather know that, okay, why are they trying to torment me on over this? So next thing I know, I found myself in like a rabbit hole where um, I'm in somebody's profile that I have no idea who it is, but since I'm being tormented for like seeing the storyline, I'm like deep in like somebody else's profile, and in my mind it's like I'm gonna have to know why I'm being tormented, regardless, so I can just move on or I can deal with it the way I know how to deal with it, which is understanding, okay, that's why I was being tormented. Um, Now, I hope my rant is kind of understood. But let me just kind of summarize what happened. In my targeting, a lot of it has been not only the harassment from Gangstalker, the random people walking by me, my coworkers. I have that external aspect of it. I have the direct weapon energy, the direct energy weaponry used on me, where definitely feel, and that's been ongoing in increasing, where I feel my body has been vibrating and I feel weird sensations all over my body. It feels like something's happening. I wish I was more articulate in about that, but it's hard for me to describe. I just feel like something is just making me vibrate, especially at night. And lastly, but the most important, is the V2K. The V2K and the remote neuron manipulation has been consistently about tormenting me and trying to insert a false persona. One, the way they do it is the intrusive thoughts, putting the most disturbing, disgusting things in my head. Two is the manipulation of the way I think and my thought process, which always goes against me. Three is the perception manipulation. I can see something and the perception in my head will change completely from what is actually being seen. It's so bizarre. It's just so the level of control they have, the level of manipulation they have, is demonic, but it's incredible. And in this case, they've been trying to present this persona of me having something for young girls, something disturbing, something degrading. But they know that's not the truth. What they get out of it is the frustration of me knowing that they know. At first, I was trying to I was literally like mad because I was like, no, it's bullshit, it's BS. But I understand that what they're trying to get out of me is the frustration. You know, is the frustration is like me doubting myself. That's what they want out of me. Now I don't have the doubt of me. The frustration is still there. The frustration is there because it's like I end up wasting so much time to kind of make myself reset myself to normal. But and also the frustration of being trying to be labeled something that I'm not. And this false narrative can frustrate anybody, any man, especially if it's not the truth, and especially when there's actually, you know, people like that in the world that are disgusting like that. But them trying to apply this persona on me is very frustrating. Now I'm trying to find ways with prayers and different ways to calm myself down. It helps calm me down. It helps me, stay maintain a certain cool, a certain calmness, and remove some of the frustration and the intense anger that sometimes I do have. So the way they do that, for example, today was, and that's why I want to make a video right after it happens because today I've spent so much time on things just completely just idiotic because like I was saying earlier about this where I was going through the story of somebody, a follower who's uh, and then she has one of her stories like she's wishing her sister a happy birthday and she's there with her sister, and then my the tormenting from the V2K, the remote manipulation of my thoughts starts like going back and forth like, oh, like it's so they're so ingrained into my thought process that okay, I was like, oh, they're gonna start tormenting me about seeing that in my storyline. And what happens is like you end up going through like the profile of the profile, and you end up seeing, and this is a girl who just turned 17, and now like your brain is like, oh, you see, that's proof. That's the kind of like the level. And I know saying that out loud sounds very idiotic, but when you have people around you, random people that you have no idea who they are, screaming things like, "Oh yes, it's safe," and it this false reality is so intensely, and this is I understand this is the kind of thing they have to work on to push a target individual into like thinking maybe they're right. It's obvious it's not. And when I speak out loud, even sound even more idiotic than when I'm in my own room, isolated, and going through this whole thing by myself. But speaking it out loud, it sounds even more idiotic. Now, I know it's a minor issue. Like it's not. It's it's a small idiotic way to kind of break somebody. I understand some target individuals are going through more disturbing things. I've gone into more disturbing myself to where the intrusive thoughts are super disturbing. But sometimes the way they try to kind of justify and try to prove their point that is obviously so framed and so falsified that they rely on the most idiotic trickery and the help of the gang stalkers and the perps that lives with me to kind of like like try to make you feel shame. It's like you see, and it's obvious this whole thing was kind of prepped for me to go into to get to that point. Now in the real world, that would be it would be just idiotic. Just for me personally, I know if I was not involved in the in if I was not a target individual, first I will just move on to the next storyline. It will not even phase me. But now I find myself like spending an hour and a half trying to go through somebody's profile just to have like an understanding why I'm being tormented, and finding myself even more frustrated that I'm wasting my time. Instead of just move on, just let it go. They're trying to torment you on something. That's the persona, the BS persona they're trying to apply. Move on, but it's non-stop. You know, it's gonna continue. But at least now I get it's a clear. You know, it, they want to create this persona. It's false. This 17-year-old girl who just birthday, it means nothing to me. It means it's like I understand that you're trying to make a persona that's something I would, that's what I would go for. But it's I'm I'm very aware of myself, of who are, especially before August 19, 2019, that this will not even phase me. However you're trying to frame it, this is not me. It will never be me. And all you have will be you doing all this different trickery to try to create a point that's not existing. Now, to all my target individuals, I know we're all going through different ways of being tormented. They're trying to break your individuality. They're trying to break who you are. They're trying to make you feel. They want to break your self-esteem. You could be a decent person. They'll find a way to make you feel like crap. They will do anything and they have no shame. So they have no shame doing idiotic things to make you feel, they frustrate you. They have no shame in that. They will play it as dumb as they want, just for your targeting. Are they? And I'm talking specifically to perps that are they're so shameless that are willing to yell out things. That sounds very idiotic. And mind you, I live in New York City. You understand that New York City is a city, is one of, if not the largest cities, and things happen in this real issues, real predators, real like this danger. So you even look more. My point is like the people, the persona they're trying to insert in me, the way they're trying to vilify me, those people do exist. They do exist. So while you're trying to put this persona in me and all the different trickery you're trying to make me to, all I have to do is look at the news and see a true case of this disturbing crap that you're putting in my head. Now, this is the people that are involved in here in targeting are not people that are trying to save or protect anybody. They're mostly there to try to frame you, to slander you, to break you, and to make you push yourself into doing something terrible. So I always take opportunities like that after I have some kind of something that happens that's different to make a video and to testify and create a testimony. Now, I really please all target individuals continue to testify, make videos, talk about it. Not only for for others, but even for you, for yourself, because I myself watch my own videos to remind me of what's happening. This is happening constantly. This issue, this thing they do, this little trickeries, this idiotic trickeries, which can be laughable. And sometimes I find myself laughing. I really do. I know what was happening, but I'm still in a state where I understand that in the non-targeted world, this sounds very comical, but I'm being targeted, so I need to balance where I'm laughing because this is it's comical the way they're going about it, knowing where you know knowing that it's such a it's almost childish way of targeting, but it's meant to be feel childish because it's meant to frustrate me. So that element of childishness is needed for the level of frustration they want out of me. But at the same time, it's kind of idiotic and funny. But the second, on the other half, I know the end goal, what it is to literally try to break me into believing that persona. So as much as comical as it is, I need to accept that they really want to break me, make me feel insecure and doubtful of who I am, which is not gonna happen. I go outside. I have no fear. I know this whole person. I know, like I'm. I know they know me so well that this persona, they know how fake it is to the point where I think they could be laughing when they go through the whole script. So it was so to end this video, targeted individuals and anybody who's watching this, all the different trickeries. I'm expecting more. Um, I just hope for me now going forward that try not to waste. I try not to waste my time and go into this rabbit hole and try to either validate or confirm something. And there's no need to. And I'm saying that for myself, and I want you guys to do the same. There's no win or lose. Like you don't need any validation. If there's some tormenting that's happening to you that feels like it's not you, but it's something do not don't be like me who just spent maybe an hour or two in a rabbit hole that was just so unnecessary, and then now I mean this is just it was so idiotic that I am frustrated on myself for not just let go of this. They're just trying to paint something, and I just wasted my time going there. However they act, however my perps are just trying to provoke a reaction out of me, agitate me, you know, I should know better and I should just let it go. They know that's BS. They're trying to frustrate me. They're trying to get a reaction out of me. They're gonna act accordingly. They're acting childish, but they know it's BS. It's a front. It's a way to just provoke me. And so, to all my target individuals, and to myself too, we need to stay strong. Do not fall for the provocation. Do not find yourself in a rabbit hole trying to validate anything. They're trying to break you, provoke you, annoy you, frustrate you, and make you lose yourself, your individuality, your self-esteem. They want to take that away from you. We need to stay strong. These people are miserable. Not when you see them, maybe not when you talk to them, but their action is. And when you fall for it and play in the game, you become a clown like them. So stay strong. Worry about the real issues that are happening to you. And those mental torments, find a way to just absorb it and move on. I'm saying that so I can do the same. So let's stay strong. All this trickery to try to break you, to try to make you look like or make you feel like a. Do not fall for it. Stay strong and understand justice will be done. It might not be tomorrow, it might not be next year, but it will happen. In the meantime, maintain your dignity and stay strong and know that justice will happen. God bless you.